Good morning! Happy time zone. All right, let's get this. Let's get this show on the road. It is. We're a little bit late. I had a meeting run over. I'm sorry. You know how it goes. Almost ready. Almost ready. Almost ready. Almost ready. All right. There's something I learned recently. You know I'm a fan of Valve hardware, right? I love my Steam Deck. I love my Steam controller. Apparently SteamOS is... So I was recently reflashing SteamOS on a Steam Deck. And I did notice that they actually have downloads for different hardware for SteamOS. So like the Legion Go and all that stuff. Like SteamOS is available for those other pieces of hardware, which is really awesome, because the thing I don't like about those other pieces of hardware, despite the fact that, you know, they don't have the cool trackpads, is the fact that they're like presumably Windows. But if they're also running SteamOS, that's awesome. Also aware of that, like, what is it? Bazite? Is that the name of the thing? Hang on a second, I'm gonna look this up. I've heard another name mentioned, but SteamOS, SteamOS image download. Yeah, so we got, Lenovo Legion Go S is actually powered by SteamOS, and then there's beta SteamOS support for the Legion Go, Asus ROG Ally, Ally X, and other AMD powered handhelds. Isn't that neat? I think that's neat. Ow, got something stuck in my eyeball. Yeah, and then there's this thing, which I don't know much about, but I guess it's an alternative like Steam gaming operating system, or sorry, like Linux gaming operating system, not Steam gaming operating system. Designed for Linux newcomers and enthusiasts with Steam pre-installed, HDR, blah 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 blah. Lutris pre-installed, all that stuff. On all your favorite devices. So that's cool. I like how Linux is just like Linux is just winning the handheld gaming PC like space. It's just like SteamOS showed up, and then it's like, yeah, we're doing this with Linux, and then Windows is like, but what about? But a bunch of people were like, wait, what? Can I install Linux on the Steam Deck? It's like, yeah, but you don't want to. I think it's funny.
If you've had enough of that, like those experiences happen where, you know, you feel like, oh, something's wrong.
Also, I learned about there's a phone OS called Postmarketos.
Unifying the parts of myself has been like a huge thing.
Yeah, I know what it says. I'm still pronouncing it Postmarketos, okay? And apparently this actually supports one of the phones that I have, and it's not Android, it's actually Linux. Which is really heckin' cool. because I actually want to install it on a Pixel 3a XL, which is in the list of supported devices. Yeah, so let me back up a little bit though. So I got a Pine phone. I got a Pine phone and a Pine phone Pro, and I was really disappointed in both of them. The Pine phone is way too slow to run that operating system. The Pine phone Pro is fast enough, but it's got a lot of other hardware issues. Like you can't even really use the camera reasonably even today. So like, you know, not a great impression I had with those. A lot of other cool things about the operating system, but not really. It's just not usable as a daily driver. I'm sorry, but my Pixel 3a XL is a lot faster and has more RAM than the Pine phones plural, yeah. And it's supported by this Postmarketos. Yeah, it's supported by Postmarketos, so, and it looks like it's the most recent version and everything, too. So I went ahead and I went on eBay, and because I'm actually using this phone, my Pixel 3a XL is actually the only phone that I have that's actually running, like, stock Google OS on it, and I need that for work. I need that for it's a work phone right now. It's just running work related stuff, work accounts, all that. And I kind of need that. So I went on eBay and I bought another Pixel 3a XL, and it was like $100. So no biggie. And I'm gonna put Postmarketos on it. So I'm really excited about that. Hopefully it'll be a better experience than the Pine phone was. We'll see. We'll see how it do. I'm super excited because like I don't like the way Android is going these days. Google keeps announcing like more and more ways that they're gonna lock down the operating system and stuff, but and so I'm like, we need a Linux phone now. Actually, wait a minute. I wonder if there's any of those Xiaomi Pad 5. Interesting. I wonder how much those ones cost too. I wonder how many like newer devices are on this list. It doesn't exactly sort by generation. It doesn't. There's no Xperia on it, unfortunately, because I really like my Xperia phone. Yeah, Google's aggressively locking things down, which is highly irritating. And so like, we all rely on cell phones so much. Like, things require cell phones now. You can't have a dumb phone anymore. ReCAPTCHA and their APK lockdown and stuff. Yeah. It's getting kind of ridiculous. The time for a Linux phone was actually yesterday. The next best time for a Linux phone is right now. We need this to be a thing and to be popular. And I getting more and more weary about being locked into Android as an operating system. Android or iOS, like I feel the same way. I feel more contempt for iOS than Android, but Android's very quickly catching up. And if Google implements all the stuff they want to do, then it'll be at the same spot in my contemptometer, if that is a thing. So yeah. There's no Sony phones in there at all. The Google Book, not to be confused with Google Books. They sure do like overwriting those names. Yeah, I mean, like, Chromebooks themselves are kind of like, they're popular in the niches that they exist in, but like they're not. I don't think I know anyone who does anything like really seriously with a Chromebook, but I live in a bubble in tech and everything, so yeah, I don't know. So this seems like it would be even more niche than the Chromebook, because like Chromebooks are dirt cheap. Thank you so much for the follow, Thanks so much for the follow. Anyway, we're gonna keep going and drawing some gay stuff today. But oh look, oh yeah, the Pine phone actually came with post-market OS on it. I forgot about that. My Chromebook is primarily used to hold up the charger for my phone. Yeah, Chromebooks are the kind of thing that you give to students at a school when that school needs, like, to give students laptops for one reason or another. This is obviously, like, a new thing for me because we didn't really have... I had a laptop in my senior year of high school only, and that was because my parents got me one as, like, a gift. A pine phone came with Manjaro? I don't remember how to pronounce that. KDE edition for some reason. Interesting. But yeah, like, I actually don't see Chromebooks around that much. Despite the fact that they are dirt cheap. I see them all the time in stores. And I think the impression I get from Chromebooks is this is the kind of thing that someone who is really, really, really not invested in computers at all will pick up. You know, a kid getting a laptop for schoolwork, something like that. And so I can imagine this Google Book probably going to end up in the same sort of niche. I bet that's what they're aiming for. Let's actually go find out before we start doing, well, we're going to get back to this, I promise. Why does the Google Book exist? 1 hour ago from The Verge. Not to be confused with Google Books. Awesome. Tablet with a keyboard. Chromebook solved a real need 15 years ago. I'm not sure Google's new Google Book solves anything. New Google Book laptop platform yesterday. Long-rumored aluminum OS. Aluminum might unite Android and Chrome OS under one house. Blah, 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 blah. This is aluminum OS. I'm trying to figure out if this is actually related to a code name that I heard while I was working at Google, which I will not. Android for PC operating system. It's like a workable desktop experience with Android apps. Ugh. No. Why would someone want to run Android on a desktop? Oh my god. Bucky, Loki, stop being adorable. Hold on a second. Look at this. Look at this nonsense. Sheesh. Stealing the show, these two. Oh god, they do the thing where, like, if you wiggle the mouse, then it pops up like an AI... Ah! Ooh! Yeah! Oh! Ah! Ah! I'm never gonna run this operating system. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh, they're showing how to do AI slop in the operating system itself. Okay. Alright. I'm happy to say I will probably never be running this operating system. Hope they don't lock them down so you can put Linux on them. Yeah, I hope they don't, but the Chromebooks are kind of annoying with that, aren't they? Like, can you put Linux on a Chromebook? Linux on a Chromebook. I have a little page on here for doing just that. Interesting. Let's do Linux and wait a minute, hold on. This isn't as it seems. Linux is a feature that lets you develop software using your Chromebook. No, 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 mm-mm, mm-mm, no, 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 no. Linux development environment. Okay, how to run Linux OS on your Chromebook. A built-in mean to run Linux virtual machines. This doesn't count, guys. This doesn't count. This is... yeah, okay, this is disgusting. There's a U-boot that can boot into Linux? Alright, well, I'm kind of done searching for that stuff anyway. Let's draw some gamer May art. Hey, Lunar Quest, how's it going? Oh, oops, forgot to turn on tablet button mapping. So much art progress? Yeah, we're making progress. I still don't like how this looks right here. The arm looks kind of funky, but the shading on the skin doesn't look great. The shading right here doesn't look great. We got a lot of bugs to fix here. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of that shininess layer for a second and go back to just the shading. We need to make the shading a lot more subtle. We need to rein it back in a little bit. File, save, incremental. Yeah, I'm not actually that interested in running Linux on a Chromebook because I'm never gonna own a Chromebook. Probably, most likely. Unless someone like hands me one for free, I'm probably not gonna not going to own a Chromebook ever. But yeah, basically what I'm saying is Google operating systems are a menace, and I'm sad that I ever let them into my life. I was there from the beginning. I had the HT, or I had the, what was it? The T-Mobile G1, or was it an HTC G1 or something? I can't. Was it HTC? I had the very first Android phone. It was like an Android early adopter. That thing was ass. That thing was garbage. That thing was so slow. But I was like, yeah, but I can sideload apps unlike the iPhone. That was really cool. That was the reason that I got into Android to begin with. I'm trying to shove an AI model into the Linux kernel for both. Have they figured out that people don't actually want this yet? Are they still trying to convince people that they do want it, or are they just chasing that investor money around? Maybe it's just another case of CEOs being completely out of touch with reality. I could see that. I could see that, yeah. Which investor money does Google bet get this besides people buying stocks? The answer's still no. The answer's still no to the question. I'm sorry. You're not a close enough friend or loved one to get that. Are you? Yes, I am a Lamia. That question I can answer. See, hello, hi, M Snack. Got the tail, the scales to back it up. You know. People are asking for squeezes. Someone's asking for squeezes. I am not going to squeeze you. In fact, that is the opposite of what I am sure of. Squeezes in this economy for free? Look, okay. I mean, if you really want a squeeze, you get one of those like $600 juiceros. They squeeze real good. They're useless in every other way, but speaking of tech that nobody wants, the Juicero. So emblematic of Silicon Valley waste. Yeah, you can just manually squeeze the bag too. Yeah. Yeah, no, there's there's so many things wrong. So many things wrong with the Juicero. It's from the very concept to the execution. Those fruit bags are also expensive and subscription only, and yeah. How did I lose a lot of weight quickly? Okay, well, so I have to, because this is an advice question, I have to actually say you shouldn't do it the way that I did it. But what I did was I went on a really low calorie diet. It was 1,200 calories per day. I was calorie counting. I was drinking Soylent is pretty much my only food input. Don't do this. This is not a good way to do it. But I was drinking Soylent for pretty much all my food, because Soylent is like exactly a certain number of calories per. I think it was like the bottles were like 300 calories each, and so I would just have one of those 3 times per day. And on top of that, I was walking about 8 miles every day. And by doing that, I was at 180 pounds, and I got down. I was losing about 1/3 of a pound per day, which is too fast. Don't do that. So walking is a pretty good is a pretty good thing to do, like in general. Walking 8 miles a day burns about 800 calories a day, roughly. Beautiful scales, thank you. You burn about 100 depending on your weight and a bunch of other factors. You burn roughly like 100 calories per mile that you walk. And so if you're calorie counting and you're like I was obsessively, you know. The other thing I did was I kind of gamified it, where I really wanted to see that number go down, and I graphed it. I was actually like getting on a scale. I'd get on a scale in the morning. I would do it before before doing like my morning, before using the toilet in the morning. I would then do it again after using the toilet in the morning, and I would do it again after taking a shower in the morning. I would get 3 different like numbers out of that, and I plotted those 3 different numbers all completely differently, or all separately. But over time, you could see this graph of them going down. You could also see where I kind of plateaued sometimes and had to keep going. What's a more reasonable target for calories? Probably still under 2,000, I would say. Like, there's like this 2,000 calorie recommendation thing where it's like that's how many calories you're supposed to get in a day. But that's I think that's like based on some like guideline for like soldiers or something like that in a going through boot camp or whatever. I'm not sure where exactly that comes from. I'm not a nutritionist, so I can't really say, but yeah, it's about running like a calorie deficit, basically, because you have okay, let me back up a little bit more and get into more detail. There's something called the base metabolic rate, which is the number of calories that you burn per day without doing anything, right? This is what your body uses to survive. So first, like, you need to get an idea of what your base metabolic rate is, and then you can figure out how much food you need to eat in order to like be under that, and then you can lose weight without like exercising, essentially. But if you do exercise, you get a lot of health benefits from exercising, and you add to the number of calories that you're burning per day, which means that you can eat more and still be comfortable, instead of like starving yourself, you know. So yeah, your base metabolic rate is, again, it's actually a pretty high number. It's kind of just like, if you're exercising, the exercise adds a little bit on top of it. So the BMR calculator. All right, so I'm gonna put in the numbers that I had when I was just starting transition, but I will put female anyway. All right, that was me. That was me at the start of my transition. That's a base metabolic rate of 1,586 calories per day. So by walking 8 miles, I was probably getting up to about I'd say around 2,300 calories per day. Yeah, the less weight you have, the fewer calories you burn too. Yeah, and a lot of this also depends on things like your muscles and how they're built, because like if you exercise more, you get the kind of muscle mass that burns calories more efficiently, and then it becomes a lot easier to lose that weight and maintain it and stuff. Yeah, so if I sat around and did nothing all day, then I would be burning this many calories roughly at that point in my life. I would have been, and my metabolism's probably slowed down a little bit since I've aged. When they make it harder to burn weight, it's different kind of efficiency, I think. Like the ability to use the fuel at all, I think is the efficiency that we're talking about here. Let's look up some numbers here. Activity level, sedentary, little or no exercise. Daily calorie needs based on activity level. Exercise 1 to 3 times a week. It goes up to 2181 and stuff like that. So as long as you're consuming fewer calories than whatever number shows up here for the amount of exercise you're getting, then you're running what's called a calorie deficit. Now, to understand calories versus pounds, I think the number of calories that makes up like a pound of of like fat or something is, I think, around like 3,600. 3,500. There are 3,500 well, according to the slop generator. Okay, so yeah, about 3,500 calories equals 1 pound. Oh, hi. Should invest in a walking desk. That couldn't hurt. I've never used one, but exercise will make you hungrier. Yeah, that's true. What I did when I was doing my horrible crash diet, I was really hungry all the time, and it was like really hard to like resist the temptation to eat stuff. That was my body telling me that I was doing something incredibly stupid. Beans and stuff to get protein. Yeah, that's also good. Anyway, if you're running the math on this and figuring out what your calorie deficit is versus how many calories you're burning per day, then you can kind of estimate how much weight you're gonna lose per day, based on like how many calories are in a single pound. So the fact that we can actually do the math here really quickly. I was losing about 1/3 of a pound per day. So 3,500 divided by 3 would be, I was running a calorie deficit of about 1,200 calories, which is a lot. Don't do that. Don't tone it down a little bit. I lost that weight really fast. I'm happy with where I am right now, but I took a humongous health risk by doing that. What is calories? Calories like a unit of energy. If I eat one thing, I go over the 2,000 calorie thing. Yeah, that's the other thing, is you gotta find food that's actually not like super high calorie. Yeah, when people say calories, I think they're usually talking about kilocalories. Yeah, the terminology on that is highly irritating, but yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, it's like I should measure my weight loss in amp hours. No. So yeah, but again, don't do what I did. Be careful about your weight loss. It is possible to lose weight very quickly, but doing so comes with a whole lot of health risks. I would gamify it still the same way though. I would be like, you know, keeping track of my weight day after day. I still keep track of my weight day after day. Where I weigh myself like every single day to make sure I'm kind of staying within the range that I want to be, and then I sort of I adjust my eating habits for that day depending on like what the scale says in the morning, you know. I've done that a lot. Watts instead of horsepower. That's what the Australians use. They use kilowatts instead of horsepower. I know this because I used to watch Mighty Car Mods a bunch. Every time they're like, "This is a blah 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 kilowatt engine," it's like, okay, hold on a second, I gotta go do the conversion on that. Blah 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 kilowatts of power. It's like, okay, I don't know what that means. How many football fields is that? How many like football fields per fortnight when accelerating a mass of like 1, you know, stone would that be? We don't actually use stones here, that's a British thing. How many hamburgers is a watt? You can measure that actually. You can actually measure that. You take the number of calories, convert to watts. Hey Wildjan, how's it going? No, it would be like watt. It would be like watts is no wait, hold on. That's a different kind of unit. It'd be like watt hours or something, wouldn't it? Furlongs per fortnight. Oh, what's the one where it's like a light, like 1 light picosecond is actually something like a meter. Or is it nanosecond? I can never remember. I keep doing the math trying to figure it out, but it's pico that's 1/1 billionth, right? Nano is 1 millionth and pico is a billionth. Yeah, so it's this many meters. So it's a third of a meter. So I guess that would be around a foot. Yeah, 11.8 inches. That sounds right. Isn't that cool? GURPS, the game system, uses feet, and if I play it, I'm gonna just say I'm gonna do everything in light picoseconds, and it's gonna be the exact same thing. Well, not exactly, but you know.
Welcome to Rivendell, Mr. Anderson.
It was a nanosecond. Okay, well, wait. So milli would be 1,000th. Nano would be a mil. Nano would be a mil. Wait. Nano would be. We want a billionth though. Am I just screwing up? Nano is 1,000 millionth. Yeah, a billionth. 1 billionth, exactly. Yeah, no, I'm right. This is 1 billion. This is divided by 1 billion here. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm counting those zeros, right? Yeah, no, this is how many meters per second is in a light second. So if we divide that by a billion to get how far light goes in a picosecond, we get that many meters, which is about a third of a meter, which is roughly like a foot. Yeah, no, we want billionth. We want billionth in a. Oh wait, nano is so it is a nanosecond. Microsecond, millisecond, microsecond, nanosecond, picosecond. Okay, okay, it is nanosecond then. All right, great. Sorry, I don't read good. 1 light nanosecond. Cool. Which would make a light picosecond like what, a third of a millimeter? Huh. Interesting. Okay, so 1 light nanosecond is about 1 foot then. Look, the only one of these that I ever only ones of these I ever deal with on a daily basis is milliseconds, microseconds, okay? I can never remember which one is pico and which one's nano. Hey Melissa, how's it going? Grace Hopper had a length of wire 11.8 inches long and brought it out whenever we were talking about nanoseconds. That's really cool. Grace Hopper is awesome. CPU runs at 4 gigahertz. Well, I mean, a modern one does. One sitting on my desk over here is actually. We got one that's at like 66 megahertz and one that's at like 1 megahertz. 1 or 2 megahertz, maybe. What passes an Apple II Plus? .023 megahertz. Yep. Nice. You have news. Oh. Oh, whoa. What's up? Is it good news? I hope it's good news. Since today I'm a fully licensed electrician, congratulations! That's awesome! Hell yeah.
You know what gaming's really about, Brian? Boom. It's all about the game.
Be advised, hostiles have captured our flag.
Our music never stops, no!
The what meme? That's a new one to me. I mean, I'm still struggling to internalize this thing can turn on a dime Macross Zero style. Thrust vectoring rules the sky, all that stuff. Let me just drudge up the most ancient memes that I can remember in my ancient brain. It's an audio snippet that gets put over videos of bad electrical work. Hey, speaking of bad electrical things, great segue, right? No, we have a hot tub here at the house, and God, that thing is such a maintenance nightmare. One of the pumps, when you leave it on for more than a couple of minutes, it causes the breaker to trip, and then the breaker will not untrip until you leave it sitting for several hours. And it's like, is it leaking water onto something inside? Is there like an internal leak that's causing like a short or something with that? It's just one of the pumps. I narrowed it down to a single pump. The other pumps are fine. Just that one pump. And it's like, that is mighty sus. That is mighty sus. This hot tub requires as much maintenance as my Jeep does. Involved the gas stove as part of the conduction path. Ooh, yeah. Oh, speaking of stoves, I just ordered an induction stove, like a portable one, because I want to see what it's like. I want to see what all the fuss is about, because apparently they're real cool and everyone likes them, and they're super efficient. And I want to see if I can run it off of a 12-volt battery. It's a big 12-volt battery, don't worry. Big 12-volt battery and a giant inverter. The inverter that we used to preserve things in the fridge when the power went out. It's like a 2,000 watt peak 4,000 watt inverter. It's like really fancy one. Not just like high numbers, but also like what is it? Dual sign something. It's one of the good ones. It's one of the decent ones instead of the crappy ones. And it supports a lot of power. So last time we had a lengthy power outage, we used this thing to this inverter and the batteries that I was just talking about, hooked up these two massive lead acid batteries in parallel. Like they're like way bigger than a car battery. Hooked up these two like lead acid batteries in parallel, and had them power the inverter, which we then used to power the fridge, to keep all of our food from going bad. Drain pipe starts arcing. Ooh. Need special pots and pans. Supposedly you just need like stainless steel will work for the most part. And there are like induction heating thingies that you can get to act as like a less efficient adapter for other fans. I'm just like, my doomsday prepper brain is sometimes going, and I'm like, I got a bunch of solar panels, both the ones on my house and the ones that I was gonna put on like my trailer. I got a bunch of like big old lead acid batteries. I got like a really beefy inverter and stuff. I bet that I could run. I bet that I could cook and run most of my stuff off of grid, off of this stuff if I really needed to. And with the way that like, you know, fuel and stuff in the U.S. is going, you know, that seems like it might be a good idea to make sure that I can actually do all that stuff. So I ordered the induction stove to see if I could run it off of that setup, and if I can, then it's great. It means we that combined with all the rice and beans that we've hoarded and water filters and other stuff that we got. You know, maybe we'll do okay. Yeah, I have like 5 Meshtastic devices, maybe 6. Haven't really looked into reticulum specifically, but I've played around with Meshtastic stuff. How's the network in your area? There's a lot of people. I mean, we're right next to the California Bay Area, which is full of like, you know, nerdy tech bros and stuff. So like, it's we're like a couple of like one hop away from the Bay Area, where there's just like a massive network. So. We won't just say tech bros, we'll say tech enthusiasts in general there, which, you know, good for them. I was managing to see people all the way out in like Sacramento and stuff though, so like we got distance on that thing. Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah, mesh networking stuff is really neat. If there's ever going to be you know, I'm all like pro liberate the internet from corpos and all that stuff, and that is definitely like one way, you know, one way to make sure that communication isn't locked down and owned completely by a bunch of evil corpo bastards. So I'm pretty excited about that stuff. Even though I don't really understand a lot of it. I'm not like into the science of like radio stuff, unfortunately. But I'm glad it exists. I'll say that. They're cheap and fun, yeah. But they need to be more. They need to be more. Right now they're pretty limited little devices. Like, you know, I want to be able to do like more complex protocol stuff over them, which like, yeah, I mean you can send messages back and forth between them. That's cool. Not a replacement for internet. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I'm aware of reticulum. I just well, maybe I'd like to see it get adopted also. Because reticulum sounds like the kind of start of something that would be sort of that internet liberation idea, you know? Internet just through your local like mesh network community instead of having to pay like, you know, giant evil megacorps for it or something would be nice. She's down under a blackened sky. So yeah, these are all good and cool things. As you know, as we were talking about earlier with companies like Google trying to lock stuff down more and more and more, and as things kind of like try to really bring the internet under like corpo control in many ways that I won't get into. it's encouraging to see like communities building up stuff like these mesh networking technologies and stuff like that. Even if they're not quite there yet, it's encouraging to see where they're going, you know? Because the internet is cool. The internet's real cool. This might sound like a weird thing to say. I actually like the internet. What I don't like is the fact that it's been put in control of a bunch of the worst, like, most horrible money-sick people on the planet. Social media is cool. Social media controlled by billionaires? Not as cool. Mm-mm. I realize the irony of saying this while on an Amazon-owned network. I know how it goes, but... What if they put chemicals in the water that turns girls into monster girls? Then I would probably abandon the water filter, and I would be chugging the monster girl juice. Just every day, just like let's chug the monster girl juice, get a reroll on which monster girl type we are today, you know. All the soundtrack to the rebellion. I think it's critical to free expression on, not just online, but in general, to make sure that free expression isn't beholden to the whims of billionaires and giant evil megacorps that are only really interested in profits. The soundtrack to the rebellion. There have been other attempts in the past to form like another layer on top of what currently exists on the internet. Things like Freenet, Tor, I guess, is another example. Don't go on Freenet. It's a bad place full of illegal stuff. But you know, it exists. It's a thing, right? Sounds the soundtrack to the rebellion. Tor still exists. Yeah, Tor totally still exists. Hey, don't touch the mouse. Don't touch the mouse on your way down. Jeez. Wish we had co-ops that provide internet access. I think there are some. There are nonprofits that provide internet access, that I can tell you about. They may even be available in your area. These guys. The Calyx Institute. Nonprofit organization that defends digital privacy, advances connectivity, and strives for a future, blah, 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 blah. And you can actually get, through them, you can get, a SIM card, that will give you internet access. It's kind of hard to find. Sign up for a phone membership and get a Calyx OS phone. Ships to the United States, Puerto Rico, or Canada. Calyx Internet membership. Let's see what that actually says here. Yeah, here you can even get a SIM card, bring your own device SIM card. They go through T-Mobile, I guess, but their policies are different and stuff. Holding out okay? I'm still kicking. Yep. You can also just get like entire devices through them. I think it costs 150 bucks every 3 months. But they, you know, they give you a different 2 gigabytes. Oh, that's a really good deal. Anyway, I was gonna use one of these for the VTuber robot that I was gonna take to Offguy. So I actually have internet through them. But they're like all like pro internet privacy and stuff like that, and so you can get these you know, wireless internet devices. You have to be a little bit careful because like they do have to go through T-Mobile's network, and so they can do T-Mobile can come down on you for various things, but Nerd sniped out of lurking. Literally stumbled upon Reticulum yesterday as a really cool view of the world. Reticulum is one network. Is not one network. It's a tool for building thousands of networks. Networks can freely interoperate, associate, and dissociate with each other, and require no central oversight. Networks for human beings, networks for the people. Kind of cheesy, but I enjoy with it. That's I like it. I like it. That's I should probably try playing around with it. Like that's something that you can use over Meshtastic, right? Probably be very slow to use it over Meshtastic though. I really want to get into radio stuff too. Yeah, that's good. That's good. You should. I should go get my my ham radio license again. My last one expired after a decade of not doing anything with it. It's okay. I want to have a new call sign anyway. I don't want the call sign that's associated with my dead name. Call sign. That's a word, right? But yeah, like I you know, trying to get like your number like updated in like every database out there that copies the main database is like impossible. So it's just my old call sign is just permanently associated with my dead name. And it's expired. But I should probably look into it again. That'd be good. Do all this other Doomsday Prepper stuff. So having Doomsday Prepper internet access is probably a good plan. Having Doomsday Prepper internet access that I can stream over, that would be really cool. Streaming live from the apocalypse. I mean, let's be real, that's kind of what I'm doing right now, isn't it? Stream from the end of the world. Yeah. I wonder if I could run like an IRC server off of a bunch of solar panels and batteries connected to a reticulum. Over like Meshtastic or something. Maybe that's our Discord alternative. Maybe not. Revolution will not be televised, it will be live streamed. Yeah. Reticulum has its own chat system. Yeah, but its own chat system kind of blows. Oh wait, sorry. Meshtastic blows. I don't know anything about Reticulums. Sorry. I'm wrong. Ignore what I just said. I'm getting terms mixed up again. just have to move into your area so we can connect. Oh, well, maybe. It depends on like how many systems get like bridged into it, right? Because you could have like one node that connects like over the internet to another node, and then that just have that be. Post-apocalypse stream topics: how to forage for food in the outskirts of former cities, where to find art supplies to continue drawing Yuri during the downtime in the power grid before survivors get it running again. Yeah. Well, I got my own solar setup, so I don't. Hopefully, I won't have as much downtime. Though we will be needing that battery life for things like, you know, cooking and things. Other life support related thingies. Probably more than internet. What are vegetarian alternatives to ham radio? Expired popsicle, more like expired ham radio license. Yeah, I know. Ugh. Okay. Need to pick low power hardware, not an 800-watt tower. I mean, and it's not going to use 800 watts to run an IRC server. Okay. Don't forget how to homebrew your own HRT. That is a much more complicated one. That was a much more complicated thing. Yeah. I think the goal would actually be survive long enough to be able to access HRT again. Unfortunately. Yeah, a tower isn't going to use 800 watts while idle anyway. But you can also run an IRC server off a Raspberry Pi, so, you know, like, whatever. You really got eaten. Reticulum can run a Wikipedia copy as Zim over radio. That's really cool. I assume that link that you were just trying to post was something about that. I actually have a copy of Wikipedia on my computer. You know, not all of Wikipedia. It doesn't include like images. It doesn't include images, or it doesn't include images. Doesn't include audio, and it doesn't include like older versions of the pages. It doesn't include talk sections either. So it's just the current versions of the text on all the pages. Which still is a lot of really nice info. You know what they should do for those Wikipedia snapshots, though? You know, it'd be really cool if they went and for each page got like basically like got an older version of a page, like slightly older, and so they could like but then also like went forward in time so that they could exclude any reverts that happened, and so they could have like a sort of filtered version to filter out any like vandalism or something from that snapshot. But you know, again, I could also just run my Calyx internet thing for like off-grid internet, off of one grid on another grid, I guess. Maybe on T-Mobile's grid, but you know. But being like completely off-grid with like a reticulum node, that would be exciting. That'd be really cool. Maybe I'll try to set that up and then bridge it into the Discord. We'll see. I have a lot of research to do if I want that to be a thing. Not with the sim that I have. With one of the ones that they had on here was this thing right here. It's a Wi-Fi hotspot with 2 gigabit per second max speed. What kind of low energy hardware would you use for what the probably a Raspberry Pi to run the server or like or what? Pi Zero. We don't have to go that low power. I do have a Pi Zero kicking around though. I could use that. Go find it. I have like a ton of solar panels and these massive lead acid batteries. Like I can run a Raspberry Pi for a really long time. Like yeah, don't you worry about that. We're good there. EP snack, yeah. My sleep's been kind of crap lately, and I always wake up in the middle of the night, and it sucks. Awa, awa, awa. Guys, chill. Hey, no, stop. Hey, no biting. Dude, don't step on the mouse. Oh, cats. I love them. They're still a pain in the butt. Okay, let's go hit up the background here, and let's add a shadow below them. Oh, that didn't work. There we go. Being underwater, like, we have to make everything kind of, like, diffuse and stuff. We don't get to have, like, any real dramatic or harsh shadows, but... this'll do. Standard cat behavior? Yeah, for reals. Oops, I was about to add a colorized mask to my colorized mask. Alright, it's time to start doing... Wait, is my shading above the line art layer? Why? Oh, hi. We have color now. That is not actually how I intended that to go, but that looks not too bad, so far. There we go. We're gonna reapply all the colors, in here, and she had darker skin, so... touch the ground. I should be lost. Nope. Cephalopod here. Yeah, it's Mermaid. We're drawing some octopus girls. An octopus girl. How you doing, Neri? How's it going? I still don't like the way this arm looks, but you know, what can you do? So this part's gonna get a little bit interesting because we're gonna add a filter layer. And she's going to use the normal skin tone, but then we're going to add that gradient back in. Though this actually does work okay for octopus, like, tail stuff, I guess. It's just I want to have... like, I want this... I want to take the mask from this. That one right there, yeah, okay. We're going to select... opaque on that. Oh, that's weird. And then we're gonna make a new layer above that, and we're gonna say, let's pick a color here. Edit, fill with foreground, and then set the blend mode to color, and oh, multiply. Let's do multiply. All right, and then we'll just like adjust the color from here. How about you? I'm still kicking. I'm still kicking. Still alive despite the universe's best attempts to make me otherwise. All right, I think that's a good color for that. This looks okay. Actually, kind of, it almost looks okay with the original colors back in. But I don't know. That is probably how we'd end up coloring the hair anyway, honestly. Like, we're not gonna add the shininess in it because it's not gonna work with the colors underwater. We're probably gonna throw like a we're gonna do a bunch of tricks afterwards to like mush all the colors together like we usually do when I can't actually get the colors to the right range. So it's gonna be a lot more blue in the end. Add filter layer. What color are the suckers gonna be? Gradient map. They are usually lighter. Oh, actually, the entire belly section is supposed to be lighter, isn't it?
Goodbye, son. Goodbye, sea. Up that contrast a little tiny bit. I still want shading, I just don't want... How's that looking? It's looking alright. Yeah, the entire bottom section of these actually needs to be a lot lighter based on what we were looking at. Octopus arm. Then again, maybe not. This one is... There's so many colors on these things, oh my god. And they can change their color anyway, so like, what does it even matter? Yeah, I guess we're actually okay here. Wonder how she's breathing down there? I think she's just holding her breath. She'll be fine, don't worry. Be fine. The only person the Cecilia drowns is sailors, you know. It's and turfs. She wouldn't hurt her girlfriend. Especially turf sailors. Especially turf sailors. She's not evil, but she will defend her habitat and her girlfriends from bad people. I'm not saying all sailors are bad, and she wouldn't drown all sailors, so.
She's transferring oxygen to her girlfriend through her lips. That's how her girlfriend... Oh, we gotta add bubbles up there to make it look like she's, you know, expelling some air. Nice long sigh, you know? Well, at least the exhale part of a sigh, I guess. Sure, but we're not gonna make it because that's not the kind of channel that we have here. Is it? All right, that's looking pretty good. I feel like maybe we should just ditch the desaturate entirely. But anyway, I'm gonna throw a filter layer on here, and this is gonna be the one that actually mushes the colors together. We're gonna have blue. I'm gonna do nice deep blue for the dork color. We're gonna go with like a cyan for the middle color, and then we'll go white up there. And it's like we end up with this, right? That's oh wow, that's kind of hard to look at. Okay, ow, ow, looks like toothpaste. There we go. That's a little bit better. I do want it to be a little bit more into the range of like cyan, but let's go maybe black for the black parts. There we go. And then we're just going to tone that down a bunch to force everything towards bluer colors. Made this a color blend mode also. Like that. I don't know. That's pretty good. I think I want to have some like, oh yeah, we need caustics. We need caustics and bubbles. So let's ditch that for now. But well, also I want to have the ground color. You know what? I'm just gonna maybe I'll just move the ground color up, or the ground shading back up here. Here's my chance, come step into a mortal dance and taste this ironclad romance. Because I think I'm okay with those colors. Anyway, caustics. This is going to be the part that's really hard for me to do. Kill stronger will keeps getting stronger, and the thrill, such control is warm but still. A single life, what's that to me? A fading light no one can see, yet such a pleasure death can be. We don't really have any texture brushes for caustics. Pages like a distant sun when hidden by a cloud. Found a way to surface and to speak my truth aloud. Be powerful, stand fast and proud. Guess we'll just try drawing them in. What's that to me? A fading light no one can see. It's such a pleasure death can be.
Used to be a single voice that vanished in the crowd. Fade just like a distant song when hidden by the cloud. Found. Oh, I better put this below all the foot layers. There we go. A powerful one, stand fast and proud. I don't actually know how underwater caustics work, so I'm just kind of going based on vibes. We're going based on vibes for the caustics. We could probably do this like a Voronoi kind of thing, couldn't we? Yeah, it's... Here, let's look up references. Underwater caustics. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about right here. That's gonna really sell the impression of it being like actually underwater. Just tried a caustics shader? I've done it before. Yeah, I have. But we could probably get away with doing a like a Voronoi pattern, and then just like, you know what? Let's try that. Hang on a second. That might not be a thing in here. Oh well, never mind. Just do it manually, it's fine. Caustics can be tricky because they're depth dependent. Oops. Oh, wow. Yeah, you heard me. I said Awala. What you gonna do about it? A little bit of Junk Raven slipping out there. Sorry. I'll stuff her back in her casket later on. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm nice to my altars and... You know. Nice, happy, dysfunctional brain family. Hello, Panix Machina. How's it going? Oh, I was gonna say, what? Hey! Oh, thank you, Sabine. Oh my god, Sabine just brought me breakfast, and it's like a grilled cheese and egg sandwich. Oh my god, this looks amazing. I'm gonna have to take a break from stream for this. Oh, so much grief. Hmm. Oh, it's so good.
How's work? When's the game coming out? I can't discuss that. Well, I can't discuss when the game's coming out. How's work? It's hard. Hmm. Hmm. I think I might I'm gonna hue shift that blue layer a bit. We can draw more caustics up at the top though. I just realized.
Of solstice to try the river's tears, nailed beneath the ripples.
Alright, brush for that.
To eyes once sunk of fear. Am I all the distortion, or am I what I say? I'm just a scary girl you loved anyway. But more fool me.
Have a good time, man. Have some fun. Having fun is okay. Get some love in your life. Whether that be another person or just loving yourself, man. Love is good.
You know what it needs? It needs more green. It's gonna be a rare instance of me actually using green in a drawing. And then we're actually going to remove the effect of it a little bit from stuff that's like closer to the camera, like this. Maybe a few parts on them. Actually be up to a higher color. We never actually got their hair colors in. I need to do that. I have not drawn like underwater stuff like this, so you haven't seen any Blender Open movies since Sintel? Wow. Blender Open movies are like legit good. I like Tears of Steel with like the robots and stuff. Where that's when they were working on like their compositing stuff a bunch. That one's pretty cool. I wonder if I could actually get away with watching that on stream. It is open, like an open license, right? Alright. Audio stuff tends to get flagged, but yeah, this one's really neat. Like I said, they were playing around with their compositing setup stuff when they made this one, so Creative Commons, Blender Foundation, blah blah blah. We would probably be legally in the clear to watch this video on stream, but I still don't want to get risk like automated systems and stuff. Anyway, y'all should check it out. It's It's really neat. Oh, this one's really sweet too. This one this one right here is Junkgraven approved charge. You should definitely watch this one. Wing It is also good. Wing It is when they were doing like grease pencil stuff. How do I turn the volume down? There it is. Gotta be careful about audio stuff getting flagged. Wing It is, yeah, Wing It's funny. Like I said, this is all about them doing like grease pencil animation stuff and going to town with like a traditional animation look. Another one that I really like, so Wing It and Charge are good. I haven't seen Singularity yet. Is that actually out now? It is out now. Okay, I have to watch that one. Sprite Fright. This one's really funny and really dark. Yeah, this is good. I have Coffee Run. I don't think I have seen this one. I don't remember it. Spring is good. Hero is, that one's worth watching. Again, it's another like grease pencil one. I haven't seen the Daily Dweebs. I think I have seen this one. I don't remember it. I think this one's funny though. God, there's some really good stuff in here. Big Buck Bunny, of course, is a classic. I haven't posted on their PeerTube. That's too bad. Yeah, these are all pretty good. Like, they know what they're doing. Also, you know, tangentially related is everything that Ian Hubert's ever done. So, like, Dynamo Dream, you should definitely check those out, too. Those are really, really cool. Well. This is the guy who was doing the, like, the 1-minute Blender tutorials and stuff. Alright, check this out. Alright, this looks like AI generated, right? It's like, oh, with all those, like, complicated parts, it looks kind of like that Carpenter Brute music video where they... it looks kind of like that Carpenter Brute music video with the really complicated machinery and stuff in it that was all like AI slop that like you know I dislike immensely. This isn't AI slop. This is actually like modeled and stuff. Ian Hubert's work is amazing. Though a lot of it is actually like a lot less detailed than it looks, but it's moving fast enough that like you can't tell. So if you look at like the actual character models here, is actually pretty basic rigging on it and stuff. He knows a lot of techniques to knock out really cool looking stuff really fast, and you know, you just, yeah. Also, like, look at the guys in the background of the scene, right? You can see where they hang on a second. Yeah, watch the animations of the characters in the background. You're focused on the popcorn machine, right? But watch everyone in the background. They're actually like really simply modeled and animated. So yeah, he takes shortcuts in the places that he knows he can take shortcuts and everything, and he ends up with stuff that looks absolutely incredible by kind of knowing where to put the effort. Hang on a second, I gotta read that. Knowing where to put the effort to do the content and stuff. He's also just very good at Blender. Hypros are not recommended for children below the age of 9 or adults over the age of 23. Swallow whole, do not chew or crush. Total numbness after enjoying product is unusual but not dangerous unless it lasts over 2 weeks. Do not consume before operating a vehicle or pregnant equipment. Do not enjoy without prescribed drugs or alcohol. Protect from sunlight. Store box in dark, cool place. Do not stop consumption unless ordered by a doctor. May cause vivid feces discoloration. This means the product is working as intended. May be used to temporarily relieve headaches and pains from common cold backaches, headaches, muscular aches, menstrual cramps, and aging. Like that may happen. We don't know. Weird things may happen. We live in a universe of pure terror. Anyway, Egan Hubert's stuff is great. Watch his short Blender tutorials that are all like really, really, really good stuff, like compressed into a very short amount of time. And also Dynamo Dream is you know, again, he also has like a lot of video breakdowns of a lot of the stuff, especially covering like how the compositing goes and all that. If you're interested in seeing like how a lot of the stuff gets put together. Lazy tutorial, easy IK rigging in Blender. Where is, let's see. Yeah, so here's like tricks for green screening for one of the Dynamo Dream episodes that they did. Right. So they did like camera motion tracking stuff, and then like composited what they had filmed onto a 3D scene. So she's walking around in like this green screen like set, and everything else is like modeled around her. I think this is like how to make it look like the character is actually walking around the scene like relative to the camera correctly and stuff. Here, let's see.
In a way that perfectly cancels itself out from the camera's point of view. Cool, huh? So what do we do with this? Well, scale it up and down so the front of the foot is just almost clipping into the ground.
Yeah, also he puts a lot of really dense stuff into these.
Later and scale it again. Do the whole shot. This process goes pretty quick. If you can't see their feet, give it your best guess. It's really forgiving. And because of trigonometry or something like that, the scaling is actually normalized, and you have your person walking around the way they actually were on set. In fact, look at this. This is from the Dynamo Dream teaser, and because of this process, you can see the footage not only automatically scales to cancel out her size difference as she walks away, it also correctly places her in the right place in the scene. Crazy, just from lining up the feet. Once you start 3D tracking, everything just clicks into place. That's a lie. A lot of things don't, but this thing did.
The Moths tutorial guy, yeah. Yeah, the Moths tutorial is great. The ending of the Moths tutorial is awesome. I think it's down here somewhere. It's probably in the shorts. Nope, it's not in the shorts. Why would I be looking at the shorts? I'm not even into, guys. All right. Let's see. Moth. Moth. Animate moths in Blender. It's a 1 minute long tutorial. We can actually watch it on stream.
In a wings down position. Moths are pure chaos, so don't stress too much. Add a base key and a new shape key and put the wings up.
Hello,
Add a
how's it
keyframe to
going?
that shape key and a noise modifier in the graph editor to make the wings just go nuts. Duplicate the moth, offset the noise modifier, and again, exactly 6 times. No, I don't care. Make the moths a new collection. Moths. Make an emitter object and give it a particle system. Have all the moths start on the first frame with a good lifetime. Have it render.
I do like shorts and tank
collection.
tops.
Moths.
I don't like guys.
For physics, select boys. Oh yes. Turn the mass way down. Look at that. But
I'm still into
teach
girls.
them to
Sorry.
love. Make a lamp. In the Boyd brain, create only one rule. Follow
Girls
the
wearing
rule.
shorts and
So
tank
here
tops.
is
That's
I'll
the
just
thing that I
make a
like.
lamp. Tweak a couple settings. It's unavoidable. Mostly mass, max speed, angular velocity, and personal space. Oh yeah, it's a pain, but no one gets into moth wrangling for the adrenaline. Hey, check it out. They like the lamp. Now that you have this, put them anywhere. You can make a lazy scene and add moths, and people will be like, wow, you even added moths. And you'll be like, yeah, I did, and I taught them to love. Moths add realism to anything.
I love the last one. Add realism to anything. Anyway.
Wow.
Oh.
Look at this bag.
Girls wearing sundresses, also good. Also good. Yeah, valid. Oops, that goes below the line art. We still haven't done the hair. We have not done the hair. Sheesh. All right. Let's get her a hair color. Filter. Blah blah blah. We're gonna go with a purple for her, right? Let's go with dork purple, and we'll go with kind of pinkish, and then oh, I still want to have that like mid-range hue shift. Go up to pink a little bit. Okay, we ended up with more pink hair, but whatever, it's fine. Pink hair is cool. It's fine. And then she was gonna have like red hair, right? Green hair is also a vibe, but Alright, so because of the saturation that we got going on here, I'm actually going to drop the saturation of, or drop the blending for pretty much every one of these layers now. We're gonna rein that saturation in. Not that one, that one's fine. No, actually that one too. Let's start off with the skin tone on the human girl. There we go. Just gonna move everything a little bit more towards gray. And then in the line art layer, I'm actually going to color that blush with this. Actually, let's color all the lines. I see the fill with foreground tool has decided not to do the thing. Yep, there it is. Alright. Edit, fill with foreground. There we go. Alright, and then we'll just adjust that down. Filter, adjust levels. Actually, no, we'll do HSV. Filter, adjust HSV. There we go. I'm gonna add some like beams of light coming in. Then diffusing very quickly. Alright, where does that leave us? Is it better with or without the blue filter? I'm thinking maybe without, actually. We could try a different filter for that. We can also try... we can also try my really cheap technique instead. Or just throw a gradient over the whole thing. Make that color blend mode and then crank it, bring it down a whole lot. I think we want more blue. This is good for the colors. I think we just want a lot more blue and less orange, like that. Yeah, exactly. Oops. Oh. And if we put the blue in there also, does that look good? No, that doesn't look good. What if we made this an overlay instead? Okay. Alright. I like that. I think in the part where we did like the caustics on the hair, we could probably go ahead and make that conform to the texture of the hair a little bit better. Yeah, we'll do that. Just kind of mush it around a little bit. It's the caustics layer, right? Oh, it's not the caustics layer. What layer is this? That's the caustics layer. Okay. Okay, the lighting is still like really boring on it though, so I want to add one more. Just go through with like some darkness and an overlay blend mode and just kind of like lighten and darken in different areas. Yeah, time I'll try to make sure that I'll be beside you again once more. Be the one who guides you. Okay, are we done with this? Can I call it done? Am I allowed to do that? Am I allowed to actually finish a drawing for once? Should I finish a drawing for once? You're allowed to do anything? 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 Don't tell me that. I can't think of a whole lot of other stuff. Can't think of a whole lot of other stuff that needs to be added right now. Yeah, like a little bit of lighting for the kelp in the background, I guess. Kelp or whatever weird sea plant thing that is, I guess. Yeah, let's do this. Focus isn't really supposed to be on this stuff anyway, so. An unstoppable force that cannot be contained or harmed by conventional weaponry. Thank you! That's very flattering. I don't think it's true, but that is very flattering. Should we have, like, fish? Random little fishies swimming around all over the place? Need a little bit of particulate in the water. Yeah, okay, I think that's a little bit better. I'm starting to think that maybe this here, not this one. This one? No. Why did I just take that overlay? Ah, there it is. This one might be muddying it a little bit too much.
Good.
What's this? Why is there shininess coming off of her butt? Ah, whatever. The caustics actually look kind of crap, so I think we'll just spend the rest of the stream probably touching up those. It's all fuzzy and blurry. Maybe they do need to be blurry. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe that was a mistake. They can be fuzzy, but I still need to have them be like a non-uniform shape, you know? So... Somewhere lost but far away, why obscured and disarray, or will they rose and me? Alright, I want to learn more about Reticulum for the rest of the stream. This is a cryptography-based networking stack for building local and wide area networks with readily available hardware. Reticulum can continue to operate even in adverse conditions with very high latency and extremely low bandwidth. The vision of Reticulum is to allow anyone to operate their own sovereign communication network and to make it cheap and easy to cover vast areas with a myriad of independent, interconnectable, and autonomous networks. Reticulum is unstoppable networks for the people. How about emotional surgery? I know that song. It's a good song too. Gunship is good. Have you heard their song that's, the one that actually comes to mind right now is a different one. The one where they had, like, a skateboarding music video. Gunship Origins official announcement trailer. What? Weaponized Love. Yeah, I like that song a lot. Okay, I can't watch this on stream, obviously, but like, combat helicopter game. No, that's not Gunship, the band. Never mind. Significantly less interested now. Interest just like, boop, go away. Oh, away. Yeah, this song right here is good. Yeah, different Gunship. Yeah. Okay, Reticulum. Reticulum enables the construction of both small and potentially planetary scale networks without any need for hierarchical or bureaucratic structures to control or manage them, while ensuring individuals and communities full sovereignty over their own network segments. Notable characteristics. While Reticulum solves the same problem that any network stack does, namely to get data reliably from one point over a number of intermediaries, it does so in a way that is very different from other networking technologies. Does not use source addresses. That seems like a problem. There's no central control over the address space in Reticulum. Anyone can allocate as many addresses as they need when they need them. Reticulum ensures end-to-end connectivity. Newly generated addresses becoming globally reachable in a matter of seconds to a few minutes. That's neat. Addresses are self-sovereign and portable. Once an address has been created, it can be moved physically to another place in the network and continue to be reachable. That's neat. All communication is secured with strong modern encryption. Good. All encryption keys are ephemeral, and communication offers forward secrecy by default. Cool. It's not possible to establish unencrypted links in Reticulum networks. Interesting. It's not possible to send unencrypted packets to any destinations in the network. Also interesting. Destinations receiving unencrypted packets will drop them as invalid. They really like their encryption. Cool. The best way to get started with Reticulum Network Stack is depends on what you want to do. To understand the foundational philosophy and goals of the system, read the Zen of Reticulum. This is very, like, philosophical and stuff, which I get. I guess. Scroll Bear is also freaking tiny. Be another face in a masquerade. Do you really want to be another face in a masquerade? Oh. Alright, we'll go ahead and read it. The illusion of the center. For the better part of a generation, we've been taught to visualize the digital world through the lens of hierarchy. The mental maps we carried are dominated by a single misleading image, the cloud. We imagine the network as a vast, ethereal space up there or out there, a centralized repository of services and data to which we, the lowly clients, must connect. We built our software with this assumption hard-coded into our logic. There is a server. The server has the authority. The server knows the way. I must find the server to function. This is the client-server mental model, and is the primary obstacle to understanding Reticulum. Yeah, inability to filter traffic based on the sender seems like a weakness. That is a little bit concerning. Yeah, that the first step in the Zen Reticulum is to realize that there is no cloud. There is only other people's computers. When you build for the cloud, you are... They're so, like, philosophical about it. When you build for a cloud, you're building for a landlord. You're accepting that your application's existence is conditional on the permission, uptime, and continued goodwill of a central authority. In Reticulum, you must shift your thinking from connecting to being among. Reticulum is not a service you subscribe to, it's the fabric you inhabit. There is no up there. There's only the here and there. The space in between is peer-to-peer. It's all the Fetty posts and memes about modern computing. Yeah, it kind of is. Someone likes to wax poetical. Yeah, yep. It's sounding a bit Apple talk. It's common to hear the word decentralized thrown around in modern tech circles, but often this is merely a marketing term for a slightly distributed centralization. A blockchain with a few dominant miners, or a federated protocol with a few giant servers. Okay, all right, we're being called out a little bit here as a Fetty user. Mastodon.social. Actually, if Mastodon.social went down, I would still be fine on my social media, so maybe not. In practice, it's still centralized. It simply has a few centers instead of one. Reticulum goes further. It wants uncentralizability. This is not a wishful political stance, but a foundational mathematical characteristic of the protocol onto which everything else has been built. Reticulum assumes that every peer on the network is potentially hostile and every link is potentially compromised. It is designed with no privileged nodes. While some nodes may act as transport instances, forwarding traffic to others, they do so blindly, and they only know about their immediate surroundings and nothing more. They route based on cryptographic proofs, not on administrative privilege. They cannot see who is talking to whom, nor can they selectively manipulate traffic without breaking their own ability to route entirely. Is that a not this but this? Hang on a second. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. This could be some AI slop. This could be some AI slop. That would be unfortunate. Unfortunate. How many? Okay, hold on. Let's count up the number of it's this. It's not this. It's this. Okay, because like you know it can happen once or twice, right? When written by a human. I don't think this one right here counts. They route on cryptographic proofs, not administrative privileges. I think that's. I don't think that one. I don't think that counts. System is designed to make hierarchy structurally impossible. You cannot hijack an address because there is no central registry to hijack. You cannot block a user because there is no central switch to flip. That's bad, though. I want to be able to block users. You can offer pathways through the network, but you can't force anyone to use them. To break free of the center, you must let go of the concept of the address. In the IP world, an address is a location, and it is a coordinate in a deeply hierarchical and static grid. If you move your computer to a different house, your address changes. If your router reboots, your address might change. Your identity is bound to your location, and therefore is fragile and easily controlled. You had nerd snipe the nerd snipe? Yeah, you did. Abolishes the link between identity and location. In Reticulum, an address is not a place, it's a hash of an identity. It is a cryptographic representation of who you are, not where you are. Because of this, your address is portable. You can take a laptop from a Wi-Fi cafe in Berlin to a LoRa mesh in the mountains, to a packet radio link on a boat, and your address, your destination hash, never changes. The network does not route to a place, routes to a person or a machine. When you send a packet, you are not targeting a coordinate. Wait, hold on. It's not this, it's this, with a semicolon and everything. Oh my god. It seems a little maximalist. It does, yeah. Actually, let's just go for the semicolons. It's not a place, semicolon. It's a hash of an identity. Does not route to a place, semicolon. It routes to a person. Not targeting a coordinate on the grid, semicolon. You're encrypting a message for a specific entity. You're not asking for a future change, semicolon. You're asking for a different physical universe. You are no longer then consuming a service provided by a fat pipe, semicolon. You are engaging in a careful negotiation with the physical medium. You are not demanding the recipient's attention right now. You are placing a gift in their path. You are not a mere consumer of bandwidth, semicolon. You are an architect of intent. The network is no longer something that happens to you, semicolon. It is something that you make happen. The network does not connect to a place. It converges, semicolon. It converges on you. You do not need to chase the light, semicolon. You let the light find you. Oh my god, it's AI slop. It's all AI slop. Are they writing like that, or you sniffed out AI slop? There's no way. The so consistent use of semicolons for that specific pattern is a gigantic red flag. This is slop. Yeah, it's slop. Other people don't seem to have caught on to it yet. Okay, here's something interesting. The massive hyperbolae are inconsistent with hyperprecision a person would be typing that with. Yeah. Preserving human agency. We live in an era of predatory extraction. The open source commons is being scraped, ingested, and regurgitated by machine learning algorithms whose corporate owners seek to replace the very humans who built these commons. Our code, our words, and our creativity is being used to train systems that are specifically designed to make us obsolete without offering anything else in return than serfdom and leashes. Oh, so they're anti-AI, right? Reticulum stands against this. Sounds like it. The license protects the software from being used to feed the beast, blah, 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 tools for people, blah, 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 blah. So why did you use AI to write this document? Oh, here's another one without the semicolon. It's not this, it's this. Okay. All right. So this is weird, right? I mean, getting some mixed messages here. We got the maximalist, like, messaging here. We got, it's anti-AI, but they're using AI. No license protects you against being scraped. Well, I mean, it's the same reason that I put don't use for AI training on all my art, right? It makes it slightly more illegal to do it. Okay. So they got a lot of really, they got a lot of like maximalist philosophy. They got all this stuff. The GPL and GNU also is kind of a maximalist philosophy. Like, look at, you know, Richard Stallman and, you know, how he views technology. Like, if it's not, like, you know, free software, then it's completely dead to him. You know, he doesn't even want to run a laptop with, like, proprietary firmware, stuff like that. And then from that, we have the entire modern Linux ecosystem exists because of that starting point. And while we don't have as much respect for Stallman these days anymore, for the best, or many of the other, I guess, quote, founding fathers of open source, people like Eric S. Raymond, I don't have any respect for anymore. You know, they got us there, and then we yeah. So this might be a thing, like a stepping stone, where it's like, okay, well, there's the tech, and there's some aspects of the philosophy that I agree with, but we don't need to necessarily have the mass adoption version of this be that kind of like maximalist philosophy. Yeah. I'm fidgeting with the pen. I'm fidgeting with a knife, actually. Sorry. I didn't realize it was coming through on the mic. And I'm just like flicking it open and closing it over and over again. It's my knife that I found that I was really sad that I had lost. I actually found it again, so. Significantly more spicy than a pen, yeah. It's this one. It is a Benchmade Osborne 940. Nope. Of course, now I can't do it. And it looks like this. This is my knife. It's far too expensive for me to actually carry as everyday carry, but I do anyway. Alright. Anyway. Oh, crap. Where did I just put my knife? There it is. Alright. Is there a spec? Is there code? I believe so. Not a knife person, but cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really a knife person either, but this is something that I have for actual practical purposes. Well, usually what I'll do with stuff like this, so I used to have a really, really cheap knife that cost me 15 bucks, and I kept losing it. I was getting all, like, I carried it around so long that I was starting to get a little bit sentimental about, like, losing it, and the idea of losing it and stuff, but, like, and so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna switch knives. So I keep the one that I'm sentimental about, and I'm actually gonna get a good knife this time because I realize how much I relied on carrying a knife around and stuff. So I went and bought a really nice knife. And it's kind of like the same situation that I've had with my hot ass, right? I got the really, really cheap one, and it's like, okay, am I actually going to use this? And it's like, yes, I am going to use this. And then I'll get the expensive one when I find out that I can actually justify the purchase. So I'm just flicking this open with my left hand. I should work on that. I should go back and forth with hands. I think it's because of the way I have to grip it, because of the way the little clip on it is. Anyway, I'm gonna put that down. Reticulum's contributors.md says AI contributions are banned. I don't know if that includes the weird Zen document. Do you think someone actually writes like that? though? Like, do you, oh wait, hold on. What are the odds that this actually isn't an AI document despite all the red flags? Because it reads like an AI document, or an AI written thing. This guy definitely has main character vibe. Could try reading something written by Stallman or Raymond. I'd rather not. But personally, I'd rather not. I don't want to see any more of their philosophy than I've already had to absorb. Also, this document's really long. This really reads as AI slop. Let's go and see. Let's see if we can find any lists of threes. Got a list of 2. Five bits per second is a valid speed. No. I can't stream over that. You can send a pager message over that in less than a minute. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's look at the commit history for Zen of Reticulum.md. IP over AC. God. Added Zen of Reticulum. Okay, so how do I actually do something with this, though? It's a mirror repo. Well, there was a commit that just said added Zen of Reticulum, so... This is all very kind of like wishy-washy. How do we actually like... Here we go. Alright, this looks like a lot of annoying work to set it up, so... let me go back to agonizing over what I got wrong in this art. Nope, that makes it worse. Can I have a few more girls than just two? I can't draw the entire polycule here. You know what? I think it actually looks okay if I ditch the desaturate node right there in the middle. I think we'll leave this. Yeah. What if we actually bring that all the way up to the top? All the way. Come on. Let's keep going. Boop. I think it looks better in black and white. I think we might have ruined it with the color that we did. But that just means that we can... Yeah, we can just do that. Just bring down the saturation a little bit. It was too saturated. That's really saturated. That's really, really saturated. We don't want that. I think it might look okay without... What's this? I think this one right here was a mistake. Let's just like throw a desaturation over it and leave that. Am I just like nitpicking this stuff now? I don't know. School of Small Fish Girls. Yeah, we'll just go with this. All right, you know what? We're done with this. If I try to keep going with the stream, I'm gonna just find more things wrong with it. And I see one thing wrong with it. Hang on a second. Anyway, like I was saying, I'm gonna find more things wrong with it, and I'm gonna have to like jump in and fix things. And yeah, I don't wanna. I'm probably gonna ruin it. I'm gonna change too much. It's gonna be bad afterwards. Looks a little bit better if we tone down the shading a bit. No, it doesn't. Never mind. Looks good. Yeah, I'm just not good at drawing like underwater scenes, so. Right. We'll wrap up about 10 minutes early. It's okay. Oh, and yeah. Avian. Oh, thank you for headpats. Alright, let me see who is currently streaming and who we're gonna raid. I think we're going to raid. Char. Let's raid Char today. I mean, virtually, yes, we're going to... Alright, let's get this exported to a WebP. Oh. Okay, 2026 part 2. Upload. All right. Cool. Got it up, ready to pay the art tax. Thank you everyone for joining me for another Weekday Morning Art / Dev stream. Really appreciate having y'all here. You're all awesome and amazing. Hope to see you next time. Take it easy, take care, be kind, show compassion, show empathy, don't get in a knife fight, use containers, I recommend it, and stay safe. And that's the whole speech for the end of the stream. It's getting longer. Is that going to be a problem? Is this an unmaintainable escalation of my farewells? I don't know. All right, goodbye everyone. Thanks for being here. You're the best. Yep. Don't leak access tokens, unless it's funny to do so.